next week. So we'll repeat the same. Agile is the part which is can't able to end by a day. It will require another day to complete. Today we'll discuss the basic part of the agile as per the PMI roadmap. PMI, have a different kind of an agile terminology which we are all do the practices for our organizations like the Scrum. PMI's agile is defined with the discipline agile, lean, safe. All together they mixed and made a common platform where they feel that how a project manager or a scrum master or an agile coach work all together for enterprise level in order to generate the business agility, or you can say enterprise level value chain systems in terms of revenue generations for different line of business like BFSI, B2B, B2C, healthcare, IT, and other project management areas. So here most of you are experienced, few of have knowledge about the agile practices. Rahul, you are already working as a vice president for Bandhan Bank Kolkata in IT sectors. So tell me about your perceptions about the agile as a services that we can use for our project management practices.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are very much audible.
Yep. So thanks, Satosida, for providing me the opportunity to speak. So see, from my perspective, agile is modern practice over this project management methodology, which will help us to deliver all those kind of stuffs, all those projects in an organized way, and dynamic and incremental based delivery, so that all the task, all the critical and complex tasks can be achieved within a defined timeline. And due to there might be some change in the middle of the project, but that can be also accepted, and we can go ahead to deliver the project based on the agile methodology. So that's the basic understanding, a basic overview from the agile word.
Okay, so yeah, Rahul, you are working banking domain. So how do you feel that in banks where customers is the key person and
Correct.
you are working with the customer, different modules you need to implement, you have a
Correct.
different tools. So how agile as a services in
Hmm.
IT
Hmm.
industry for banking domains you feel that minimize the risk,
Yeah.
generate the revenue.
Yes. So, as you could understand, a bank is running the major revenue part is coming only from assets, not from the liability. Of course, assets, we have multiple verticals which a bank is having over secured or unsecured assets. And to scale up the business, that we need to focus on the products what bank is having, which should be the customer centric. So in order to build or develop this product, which will be having minimal tact to get this process, the entire thing can be processed. So this should be our basic look around from the bank as a banker. And technology, of course, is an enabler to get this thing done and reduce the overall process stat and enhance the advancement of the process with the latest technologies. So definitely, agile should be part of this thing to get this ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. Rajeshwari, you are also from the same banking domain, HDFC, I believe. So, in banks or any IT enable services, which Rahul was saying, we can use SaaS, software as a services, or iPaaS, infrastructure as a services, or cloud-based integrations, where everything is integrated to the cloud-enabled systems. Even a person who is doing a kind of a game development, he is a project manager or coordinator for gaming applications, that is also migrated to AWS or Azure. So the needful of the agile as a services along with other parameters is like we are giving shippable implementing incremental product. So when it is comes to a product, we should understand that we will generate a product which is in pipeline by either creating an MVP, which is the fast actions points to be get discussed, that what are the parameters we need to focus once we are providing for that particular product, what is the timeline in order to deliver that particular product, who are the key stakeholders who will use this product, or end user who will get benefited. Now if we go for the normal HDLC processes, where we move with the different phases like design, then we go for the development, then go for the testings, then go for the mm, monitoring and control and migrations, or UAT. There are some hiccup, like in normal HDLC phases we are have some dependencies, which is called dependency degradations, which is considered as a waterfall model. Like every work packages is dependent. So for example, I am telling you a very uh, real time scenario. Rahul is a vice president of Bandhan Bank Kolkata, and he is working for a product which he is about to get launch maybe within 2 or 3 months. And at the same time, Rajeshwari, she is also a project manager of HDFC Bank Kolkata. So all those banks are making a joint venture as per RBI guidelines for making a bunch of a REST API that will be get called, so that all the customers of the two banks will be get benefited. Even they want to change their product or the services from one bank to another bank, it will be a common platform. Both the banks or multiple of the banks are using the same platform as a services, right? So in this category, do you feel that the waterfall model will be useful? If not, why? uh, if yes, why? Who can explain? I have generated a scenario for a specific banking vertical, and here I am asking you, anybody can give answer, that if I go for agile, what will be the benefit? If I go with the waterfall, what is the drawbacks I have? Anybody can try, please. I need you people to give answer. It is not like that I am going all the bookish things for passing the PMP or safe. It is all for the knowledge gathering, which will require you for the real time.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, Rahul, please go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. See, so what the scenario which you explained, that is quite important. In the current market standard from the fintech industry, this is quite relevant from the open banking concept as well. So definitely, waterfall will not work. Classical waterfall model will not work for this case, because in waterfall model, as we could see, the requirement gathering part is freezed during the initial phase. So we are not going to accept any requirement, any change during the execution. That's the major drawback which we could consider as a part of this entire portfolio. Why? Because see, we are expecting a change between Bandhan and HDFC Bank. We need to get this thing developed within next 2 months. There are lots of change on the interface perspective, and the change might be from business perspective or from regulatory perspective, and the change can be come by tomorrow or by, let's say, within the next couple of days, and that has to be accepted. Otherwise, these two bank cannot cope up with the all respect relevant industries, banking industries. So this change is adhere, and when this change is ad hoc level, and that needs to be accepted in incremental basis, delivery needs to be made happen. That's why agile practice is quite relevant and most approachable for this scenario. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul, for your input. I would like to go for these things as an IT sectors. Oyon, you are already doing a kind of a practice. You are a project manager in Lean in Code Cloud. So, what is your point of view for the same? He is telling about the banking respects. He is working as a IT project manager for Bandhan Bank, and you are working for a software project managers for Code Cloud. So, how do you think that the Scrum or agile methodology help for the task you are doing instead of doing this waterfall for the software development industry? Uh,
Hello.
yes, Ayan, you are audible.
Yeah, so here one point is based on the like in IT industry, what I saw, like when we create any particular system or any software or service, after giving a demo to the client, there are chances that they give some feedback, like say maybe interface wise, as Rahul mentioned, in interface wise maybe some new element they will ask, or even based on the business logic they might think that this particular area which is not given in the initial scope, that maybe need to be included in the latter part of the development. So in case of agile, those changes we can accommodate based on the practices which we do in lean or agile. But if we go with the waterfall model, then those feedback we cannot accommodate because the scope is really fixed for the waterfall.
Yes, that is very true. So, if I accumulate all the ideas from Rahul and Oyon, so waterfall model is a kind of a model which has as the dependency. Agile is a kind of a model which can run parallelly. We can go back and move forward in Agile. In Agile is a framework that consists of Scrum, Kanban, XP, and also DevOps. At present, we can extended version of the Agile is the Lean Agile or Safe. So I'm coming in Scrum, which consists of the product owner, Scrum Master, and the team. And there will be a manifesto that everybody should be aware of how Agile framework works. That is the reason when I was a project manager for Tech Mahindra or IBM on that time, it was an waterfall because there, if we are working for a huge volume of project, then it is not possible eventually to go for direct agile. When get an example, if you are working with the telecom domain rather than any other, the telecom domains you have to be mixture of agile and waterfall. That is called an hybrid. Why? Because everybody knows in telecom you cannot expect the changes too frequently, then it will be very much hard for you. But at the same time, when you are making a product for a telecom industry, let's say Vodafone or Geo, they are making a kind of a product and web app or app by which people can understand their recharge value, their roaming charges and other preliminary charges, their broadband charges, same sim with the different prospects. Even in Geo, you can have Geo TV, you can use Geo broadband with a single number. So all together have the different products. So those can be developed by the Agile with a different project as to in terms of Scrum, which because the changes will come, an MVP will be made, then you have to make it to the market. The end user will give you their change, and those changes will be incorporated any times, maybe with different phases, which in agile cause the iterations, right? But in telecom industry where you are working to you know installing some towers in Kolkata. We are almost done the 5G rollout, but if you go to the outer part of the Kolkata in West Bengal, like north or south Chobbish Pargana, or even you go to the northeast part, you won't get the 5G services. You will get 4G even in northeast. If you go Arunachal or in Shillong, it will reduce to 3G because of there are some security reason of the border. China is there, and second is the services is not that much high there. So it is a continuous process. Geo, Vodafone, BSNL, Airtel, these all provider, they are working together with the help of the TRI to make a people a good services, which is a waterfall model. Because for installing the towers is not an agile. For example, I'm giving a real time scenario. I want to dig a tower to let's say Rahul's house near. So I need to have some plan for that. There are some tower companies who will install the towers. That is the spectrum that is providing by the government of India, TRI. And for installing the tower it will require 6 months or 5 months, because there are lots of hazards you need to put in your SLA. First, your local organizations, government of West Bengal, they needs to give an NOC. Then you have to take the NOC from Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Telecommunications, and then the local public, because they may ask you that they may be evacuated that particular place to dig that tower. So it is required 6 months. Many peoples are working there for installing the tower. So if you are a project manager of a tower company to install that particular tower for a particular zone, it's a kind of a waterfall. Whereas if you are a project manager of a geo who will use your tower to give you the services, you are a scrum master or agile coach. Because geo is having their different product, they are using the spectrum of from the towers, they have a data centers. That data centers is routed to different calls from the different geographical locations. And in the data centers, if you are a project manager, program managers in terms of portfolio level in the data centers of geo, which is about to launch from Newtown, Rajarhat, Kolkata at Geo Data Center. So if you are there, if you are a program manager, you are working with both agile and waterfall, a combination of hybrid. Because there some of the projects is the legacy project that I have given examples are all old waterfall model that you have to give support. You are getting the revenue from different third parties, and at the same times in the data centers, you are providing the services, kind of an IT SMS, right? So there you are expecting the changes. When you are expecting the changes, you should have a change log, and those change log either it can be accepted or it can be rejected depending upon to the sovereignty of the changes. There will be a consolidated change management database which we call CMDB, and there will be a change managers who will either accept or reject the change depending upon to the impact of the change. So if you are a project managers or program managers, you have to identify a root cause analysis that why the changes is triggered is because the changes has come of the customers demand, that MVP has been made and customers is require a new MVP version 2.0 to 3.0 before you go for the actual development. Or when you have started the project, you are in phase 1 and you are about to move to the phase 2, the customers which I told that expecting some changes in the phase 1 or iterations 1, that has to be done, and then you can move to the next phase. If that is the case, then the changes which has been occurred in the phase 1, you can keep it as a backlog. In agile, we can tell these things as a sprint backlog, product backlog. A product should have a different product breakdowns which is come into the higher level. So whenever it comes to the higher level, use a story points. Then it comes to the business development managers who are directly contracting with the customers of the outsourcing, and then they are scrutinize this BDM part, that what to do and what not to do. They make a consolidated RFP, and after that when that project has come, they ask the scrum master or project manager of agile to be on board to understand their how much they can able to give according to the understanding document. Everybody knows, which is called the discovery document in agile, where we put all the use cases that need to be get done on that particular area. Those which we are not able to do for the next iterations will be keep as a backlog, considered as a product backlog. We uh, define or break the requirement into smaller chunks in order to understand our delivery timeline. In waterfall, where you are working in both, you do not have that much of scope to break the requirement. In waterfall, it is a 6 month or 1 year's project, and the client may come to you or may not come to you. He will come when the delivery time will come. So when the delivery time will come, you say that this is your delivery, and the client says I am not happy what you have done, so you have wasted your money and time. But in agile, you are all working together under same umbrella, which is called agile manifesto. You are going for every daily stand up, that will be a foster open communications. There will be a less scope creep. Anything discussed should be an MOM, then circulate to the all the stakeholders who are there on board. So anything we'll discuss today, we will discuss what we are planning, what we're about to give, and what are the backlogs we have. We will fix it up, and we will move in this way. So if we move in this way, at the end of the week, Friday, Oyon have decided he will give some deliverables to Rahul. He is a stakeholders or a product owner or a third party who have a joint venture of Oyon. These are the stories that Oyon will give. And when Oyon is about to give all those stuffs on Friday, he understands that some of the part he is missing because of he has some dependency. He did not get all those input from Rahul. That should be he should get it on the middle of that week. So he will put it as a product backlog. After the delivery of the deliverables, Oyon, Rahul, all the stakeholders next week will go off kind of a retrospective meeting. What is retrospective meeting? There both the stakeholder discuss what we have done till last week, what are the area we need to get improved, what are the area we face that we need to stress much, and the area which we can keep as a backlog for the next delivery. So all together we'll discuss, and it is a continuous process unless and until we give the product get ready. So the advantage is every iterations we are delivering our deliverable with a new versions. If it is, there will be a some release. If it is a release, it can be treated it can be treated as a major release or a minor release. When it is going for a major release, it will be a deliverables that will be given with customers with a huge volume. It is a minor, then it is a cosmetic. So this is the idea of the preliminary stage, how agile works in terms of uh, both in the industry. I have given example. Hey, on is there, Rahul is there or dropped? I don't know. Just give me 1 minute. Think he is dropped. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Okay, so that is the fast part. Ion Rajashree Obi. I'm sorry, Obi. I just saw you.
Yeah.
Do you have
Hi.
any question? Whatever I have discussed in terms of agile, the preliminary part. Why
Yes.
use agile? Why not waterfall? The difference between with the scenario. Do you have
Yes.
any question?
Yeah, I have a question. Am I audible?
Yeah,
First,
you are audible. Go ahead.
Happy New Year, everyone. So this is Abhijit. So I have a question. So I was reading about this Scrum ban, and I have read about this waterfall policy as well. So this waterfall framework and the Scrum ban. So like that is an like mixture of Scrum and Kanban. So are these same? Like since Kanban follows a storyboarding type of thing, like WIP done and like to be completed, and in the waterfall also we see a step by step procedure, like we have to finalize the requirements and then we move to the next part and others. So are those kind of similar, or there is a basic difference between these two, hybrid and Scrum man?
These are totally different.
Okay.
Kanban is a part of the Japanese firm where we work is in WIP, work in progress. There will be a no role of a product owner, scrum masters, and this team. Here, people are working according to the velocity or user story point, depending upon to the complexity of a particular things, and get delivered on that particular time. And we will move next sprint according to the WIP of the current sprint. So there is no similarity between Kanban and waterfall. Kanban, Scrum, Agile, XP, these are all part of an Agile where you are acceptable and adaptable to accept the changes. Simple end. Do you
Yeah.
think that in waterfall you are accepted the change? You being a project manager sign a SLA with a third party that you will give the deliverables within 6 or 7 months. In between you are not expecting any changes. After 6 months the customer Ion comes and tell Obi, whatever you have done, give it to me. So in between you have developed trillions
So
of
that
code.
basically goes to waste because those are not per the client's requirement or the latest requirement, as I say.
Not client latest requirement and all. Client is in waterfall already predefined their requirement from the very early stage when you are writing the SLA or SOW. When
Yes.
it has been done, client will tell that we are not expecting any changes. You will come within 5 or 6 months when you are ready. In between, whatever you do, you can do. It is a fixed price contract. I am giving you $100. You do whatever you want, but uh, you are not communicating with the client daily basis, which you do in Kanban and in Scrum, which is called
Exactly.
daily
Yeah.
stand up. So there will be a huge gap or miscommunication. So if after 9 days, if somebody has come and tell I am not happy what you are designing, then what will happen? It will be a huge scope creep. You wastage
Yeah.
your time, cost,
Yes.
and resources.
Yes. Yes.
Don't confuse a Kanban with a waterfall. Waterfall is totally different. In Agile, we have a different portfolios. One is the Kanban, second is the Scrum, third is an XP, fourth is an hybrid, fifth is a Lean or Safe, Sail of Safe Agile,
Safe. Yeah.
and sixth is a DevOps. These six
Okay.
things comes under the Agile umbrella. There is no part of the waterfall. Waterfall is only comes for the legacy project. Example, if you have a legacy product of you are working for Cognizant OV. So in Cognizant, if you have a legacy product that you have given to Bank of America, which there is no changes come, very stable product, only you are giving support to that product. Very rare you are expecting P1, P2, P3 that comes maybe 3 months or within 1 month. You just get the billable from the Bank of America, and that is a kind of a waterfall because there will be a no changes, no new ramp up will happen. But at the same time, if the Bank of America want to make a product that will needs to be get launched and that will be integrated with their old systems, by calling the RESTful API. The old system is already very stable. Only it will integrate with the old system with the new systems to get the KPIs and will flash. That is an agile, because there you will expect that lots of changes when the software development will get start. The customers will demand different ideologies, and you have to accept that you have a kind of a change log, and you will move and that way. Clear, Obi?
Got it. Got it.
Obiji.
Yes, yes, Shoptoshida. Actually, also I had a few doubts about Scrum ban, not actually Kanban. So we'll discuss this on the later part of the
No,
class.
no, you can discuss. Oyon, what is the difference between Scrum and Kanban? And
Shoptoshida, I was talking about Scrum ban. So that is a mixture of Scrum and Kanban.
that I know.
Ha,
I'm
ha, ha, so
asking on it.
okay. Sorry.
Hey, sorry, Oyon.
Yeah, so Scrumban is actually a, you can say, a hybrid model which is comprising of some part of the Scrum and some part of the Kanban. Um, as it is a hybrid model, so actually there is no such defined scope for the Scrum ban. You can take a couple of features from the Scrum and couple of features from the Kanban, and then we will mark that particular methodology as a Scrum ban methodology. For example, say in Kanban, we don't need to do the Scrum story point
Yes.
estimation or anything like that. There will be some task which will come in the Kanban board or Scrumban board, but
Mhm.
the similar to the Scrum, we can have a fixed daily meeting time, which is feature of the Scrum. That particular meeting time is not associated with Kanban, and in that way we can do couple of features from Scrum and couple of features from the Kanban, and then that methodology we can consider at Scrumman.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. So practically, it is a very case-specific scenario that we consider
Yeah.
Scrum ban. Okay, got
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Kanban
Thanks
is
for
very
clarifying.
case specific and depending upon to your LOB and also the situation you are working. If you are working with a e-commerce platform, yes, Kanban is very much needed. Why? In Kanban, the accuracy of the deliverables is at least more than 90%, but in Scrum it is not. But when you go for both Scrum and Kanban, depending upon to your situations, where for example in e-commerce platform, let's say consider as an Amazon has their product which we are purchasing. They are doing b2b, b2c, c2c, and they are even doing payment gateway. Amazon has their payment gateway system, so
Yes.
all together integrated with the different REST APIs with their AWS cloud. Now, if you are consider you are a Scrum Master for a particular product,
Mhm.
there in B2B and B2C, when you are purchasing a product, you obviously go for the quality of the product. There will be a provision gates you can return or refund your product if it is not up to the mark. So when it goes to the up to the mark, the quality comes, the compliances, right, Ovijit? The quality or compliances is a kind of a things where you are giving assurance to the client that I am giving you 90% to 100% assured that my product will be an error free. There the Scrum has some drawbacks, because in Scrum we move as Oyon told, uh, uh, move with the story point estimations, and then we can go for next level if the story point is not matched. If the change request come, then how much impact for that particular story points depending upon to the velocity of the team and other aspect. In Kanban we consider the WIP, work in progress. We are moving, and during the work in progress we will understand how much quality in terms of delivery we are giving, which we have assured written in an SLA. So that is the reason Kanban is a part of the lean approach, which is a Japanese tool. 2000 it started. Motorola has started their things in their uh, part also in this using the Kanban. So
Hmm.
when Scrum and Kanban use all together, depending upon to the project, called the Scrum Ban. So
Okay.
50% is Scrum, 50% Kanban, or 25-75, depending upon to your project. If your project is have already defined which is in Scrum, already moving on, and you want to integrate with two different subsystems,
Hmm.
different product, which is already a kind of a product which read the KPIs from you, and it will flash a dashboard where accuracy is the concern. Go for a Kanban. Now you accumulate all together the data and put those things under one warehouse of the KPIs and generates a report by which you can take the decisions is called Scrum Ban board. Scrum Ban board, the KPIs which you collect, both Scrum and Kanban, then you put it to Jira. You know, Jira is a tool. So
Yes.
there you put these things as a dashboard by which you can take the decisions depending upon to the complexity and the chaos of your project. If it is a very complicated project, you obviously need kind of a compliances is concerned, go for the Kanban. If the project is not that much of complex, iterative, incremental, change driven project, maximum 2 month, 3 weeks to 1 month, go
Hmm.
for a Scrum, general Scrum. There will
Okay.
be a Scrum Master. Now,
Ah,
what will be the role in Scrum? The Scrum Masters, he will be a facilitator or servant leader. He is working as a bridge in between product owner and the team. If you go
yeah.
to the Kanban and Scrum both together, you will be treated as an agile coach. So what is the difference between Scrum Master and Agile Coach? Agile Coach is a person who will need to focus not only a specific project but a multiple array of projects where he will try to understand the health of the individual Scrum or Kanban project and will take the decisions. This is called Agile Coach. By
Okay.
how he will define the health. The health of the project depends the deliverables, CSAT, customer satisfaction metrics, and also uh, define that what needs to be get done as per the SLA or SOW and what is we missed.
Hmm.
Clear, Obijit?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Pretty much. Thank you.
Welcome. Any question? Rajeshwari, Pritam?
No, sir,
Okay,
it's pretty much clear.
okay. The life cycle selection. So the life cycle selection of the agile consists of predictive life cycle, iterative life cycle, incremental life cycle, and agile life cycle. Predictive life cycle is more traditional approach with bulk or planning occurring upfront that we used to do. Iterative approach that allows feedback unfinished work. Every iterations I am expecting feedback, then we go to the next iteration. Incremental life cycle, what Oyon and Rahul was saying, an approach that provides finished deliverables that customer may be able to do the immediately. Incremental is most important, that you make an MVP, minimum viable product, and there incremental is like a, if it is a game development company or even if you are doing a software farm where you are expecting the feedback, otherwise you cannot move and too many changes is coming, and that deliverables approach which is a customers is giving immediate feedback, it's called the incremental that we follow. That is the reason we go for a daily stand up. In the daily stand up we do not accuse anybody that Ion, why it is not happen, why you did not deliver. It is a kind of a meeting where we just discuss what we have done, what are we going to do. That is an incremental. When it is comes to agile life cycle, it goes both iterative and incremental all together. It is an agile platform where we are going iterative and incremental depending upon to the situations where we are working. Now there are the some characteristics of the life cycle. Predictive, the requirement is fixed. Iterative, dynamic, incremental, dynamic, agile is dynamic. Predictive, requirement is fixed, you can consider it as a waterfall. Iterative, incremental, agile, these are all change driven approach. All are single delivery, but you can see incremental and agile multiple delivery, where every delivery should be considered as a milestone, and every milestone should be considered as a benchmark for your projects. Otherwise, what will happen if you go for a longer delivery than expected? Then again, the scope creep and miscommunications will come, will wastage of your time and cost and resources. Rather than that, if you make a shippable delivery within 6 days or 7 days, then you can get a feedback to move to the next iterations. You have a proper tangible idea or KPIs that how much things you have been done and what are the improvement of area you need to be do for the next delivery, which is not support both in predictive and iterative. The goal, incremental agile, of course, is the speed, and customer value is the main feedback of the agile. Customer value means customer satisfaction matrix. That is the most important. If your CSAT is down, your customer rating will be down, and that particular customer will not expect you to be go further for the next delivery or next iteration and next projects as well. So CSAT is very much needed. PMI has given you, Project Management Institute is an institute, Scale Agile is an institute. They are different, but all together are all same in the real time. So PMI in PMBOK 7 and 8, I will give you the PMBOK 8 on June, which is in the draft. There you will see that both Scrum, Agile, Scale, even hybrid things has been added. So those people who will sit for the PMP exam after on or before after October 2025, they will be considered of PMBOK 8. Till October 2025, it will be 7 with an old syllabus. So here you can see, guys, I have pictures which is so that frequency of delivery and degree of change. So all the models are there. So the frequency of the delivery is very high in incremental, and the degree of changes is very high in iteratives, because I have discussed with all, because client, anybody have done a kind of a MVP analysis for the projects, how they made their MVP before they go for the market? Any idea? Can anybody tell? Sreha, any idea? Okay, MVP is a minimum viable product. I use this term many times in Agile Manifesto. What is this actually? Nobody is asking me the questions. Though you are doing the practice, an MVP is a kind of a product development sectors where we will make a kind of a prototype as per the requirement before we jump for the development. When we are making MVP a version 1.0, with first client show to the client that these are the requirement we are trying to go as per the definitions in the business case which has come. In Agile, whatever the business case come into the high level is called the epic. The epic is the highest part of the Agile, where we have the all things into the high level before we break the requirement into smaller parts called sprint backlogs. So in epic level, we are all into the high level. We do not know that how much time will require, whether we are into the same track or not, or we are going to the right direction. So that is the reason Scrum Master, Agile Coach make an MVP and give it to the end user to be get sign off before they start for the delivery. If anything changes, do it in an MVP, make it a version 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 2.0, and make a fixed, and then we'll start the delivery. Then it will be a low risk risk in terms of too many changes. If it is a too many changes, it will be a delay in the time. If it is a delay, the cost will be overrun and it will impact directly to the project. The resource will be also be overutilized. So that we have to keep in mind. So that is the reason we use the MBP term in Agile Manifesto. Clear, everybody? Any question? I will ask next day, all of you, whatever I taught, because next day we will continue the agile part. The agile part is not a small part. We will discuss the other parts, also how to calculate the story points. Oyon and Rahul, they are very much competent in agile. They work since last 5 to 6 years in agile. They can give help, but I need all of your answer. So be whatever the things I am discussing, the lectures, the recording will, you just go through it, including this doc, and prepare yourself. So now the predictive life cycle is moving on to both analyze, design, build, test, and deliver. That we do in the SDLC phase. In SDLC phase, we do all software development life cycle. So characteristics of iterative life cycle is analyze and design. So you can see that the term prototype is come. This is and this prototype is also a part of the MVP, which I am telling. In analyze and design part, we will have a design phase to be get ready. Then we'll go for the build and then test. Build means every software when we go release a product should have a build. We do the build using the tool, either using Microsoft Team or Big Bucket, GitHub, where we will make the build with all the libraries and make a versions, and then we can go for the testing. When it goes for the testing in agile, test cases has been written from the early stage of the um, project initialization phase. The testers and the test people, they come with the product owner and the scrum master to prepare the test cases according to the use cases they have. And when the test started, they will start the test. The test case, the development team will do the testing, which is doing the regression testings, penalty testings that done by the QA team, and developer do their own testings before they pass it to the testing team. Testing team will then comes with all the test cases they will write. They will do a kind of a black box or white box testing depending upon to the test cases they written. The test manager, who is the key person for the agile, who will directly communicate with an end user and the business owner, because he has the number of issues that he or she will fix, and then he will redefine to the product or to the end user that how much test cases has been covered, how much test cases not been covered, what are the issues has been come, and what are the issues has been till resolved, what are the issues are still open, closed. Depending upon to the there, a test matrix will be created, that is refined, and then it will go for the delivery. When it goes to the delivery, it will start for the UAT, user acceptance test, where the end user or client will start their testing according to their nomenclature, and then they will fix it up. During the UAT, both the development and testing team should be there in order to fix that. Anything comes in a UAT which has a threshold value, and you have to fix it with that time. It may be a very huge things, low things, maybe changes. So if anything changes come in ideology of the agile, we will keep as a backlog, product backlog, when it goes to the testing phase, and we'll consider is the next iterations to give the deliverables delivered, and we will move in this way. So this is how the agile framework work in Scrum, Kanban, DevOps, and scale or lean approach and hybrid. Any question till now? Pritam, Rajeshwari, Anindo? Shreya, Abhijit, any question?
No questions at this point.
Okay. So I'm not going further. There are other parts there, major parts we'll discuss next week. Others will also will join. They are all expert of this agile. Even I have a on today. Uh, Rahul has dropped because of some emergency. Rituparna and other they are also experts in agile. They will also join from next week. So we will move to the further. What I will do the next week? We will do the next week the how to calculate the user story. What is user story point? What is velocity planning? What is capacity planning? What is Kanban board? What is Scrumban board? And when we use Scrumban and Kanban, what is FDD? What is TDD? That is Shreya is aware. TDD is test driven development and FDD is functional design development. That happens to the agile manifesto with the difference. So DevOps is also there. DevOps means development with operations, which Ion knows because he is working with the directly in cloud-based systems where DevOps CI/CDs is required. So all those things will cover next week in theoretical approach. But you guys, when we'll move to the Jira using Confluence, you will understand how these things can be done automated way. Otherwise, it will be all theoretical as per the PMI roadmap. So that's it. I'm dropping the call. Everybody request you to go through the recording, download it. Any questions, keep posted. There are many seniors are there, not only me. So you guys can talk to each others, and we'll come to next week. And we are having a meeting. Ion, whoever from Calcutta, try to be there. মানি স্কোয়ার আমরা সবাই তো এখানে বাঙালিই আছি অনিন্দ শুধু ব্যাঙ্গালোরে আছে অভিজিৎ শ্রেহাও মুম্বাইতে আছে প্রীতম অভিজিৎ রাজেশ্বরী অয়ন এরা কলকাতায় আছে বাকিরা তো কলকাতারই জাস্ট ট্রাই টু বি দেয়ার নেক্সট সানডে পাঁচটা আমরা এটা আলাদা ডিসকাস করে নেবো এটা ঠিক আছে ওকে সো থ্যাঙ্কস এভরিবডি উইল মুভ টু নেক্সট উইক থ্যাংক ইউ